There is a topic almost every couple avoids talking about directly. Even couples who can talk about money, in-laws, and old trauma without flinching bring up the actual state of their sex life, and suddenly everyone gets vague. It is fine, we're just busy. That'll pick back up eventually, and it might. Or it might be the one honest conversation that has been avoided for so long that neither person even remembers how to start it anymore. So today we're going to talk about why good sex actually matters. Not for the reason most people assume, and not in the way most advice usually frames it. By the end of this video, you're going to understand what sex is actually communicating underneath the physical part. Why a quiet decline in that connection is rarely the real problem, and what to actually do about it instead of just waiting for desire to magically return on its own. Let's start by clearing up the biggest misunderstanding, because it is the thing that keeps people stuck the longest. Good sex isn't primarily about technique, frequency, or matching some imagined standard you saw somewhere online. Good sex is a conversation happening in a language that doesn't use words. It says things like, "I still want you. I feel safe enough here to let my guard down completely. I trust you with the most unguarded version of me there is." When that language is flowing, it does something verbal conversation rarely manages. It bypasses the analytical mind completely and speaks straight to the nervous system, reminding both people on a level deeper than logic that they're still chosen. Which is exactly why its disappearance hits so much harder than people expect. When sex quietly fades out of a relationship, it rarely feels like a small inconvenience. It feels like something far more unsettling. Even if neither person says it directly, a question starts forming underneath the surface. Do you still want me? Or have we become something closer to roommates who happen to love each other? Here is the part almost nobody tells you though, and it is the single most important reframe in this entire video. A struggling sex life is almost never the actual problem. It is the symptom, the smoke, not the fire. Couples spend years trying to fix the bedroom while the actual fire is burning somewhere else entirely, in unspoken resentment, in exhaustion that never gets acknowledged, in years of small disconnections that never got repaired and just quietly piled up instead. Let me show you what this looks like in two different couples experiencing the exact same slowdown. The first couple, we'll call them Renee and Theo. Notice their sex life has gone quiet over the past year, and they try to solve it the way most people instinctively do. Scheduling more date nights, trying to spice things up, reading articles about technique. None of it sticks, because none of it touches the actual issue, which is that Renee has been quietly resentful for over a year about carrying most of the emotional and logistical weight of their household. And that resentment doesn't just live in arguments about chores, it lives in her body too. Desire doesn't show up easily next to someone you're unconsciously keeping score against, no matter how good the lighting is or how many candles get lit. Now picture a second couple in the exact same situation, same quiet decline, same year of distance, but this couple does something different. Instead of trying to engineer their way back into the bedroom, they have one uncomfortable, honest conversation about what is actually been building underneath it. Not blame, not a list of complaints, just an honest accounting. I think I've been carrying more than I've said out loud, and I think it has been showing up as distance between us. That conversation doesn't fix everything overnight, but it does something more important than any technique ever could. It clears the actual obstacle that desire was quietly tripping over the whole time. Here is a piece of psychology that explains why this works the way it does, and it is something most people were never taught. Desire doesn't always show up the same way for both people in a relationship. And that is not a problem to fix. It is just a difference to understand. Some people feel desire spontaneously, out of nowhere, like a switch flipping on its own. Other people experience desire responsively. It shows up after connection has already started, after touch, after closeness, after feeling truly safe and wanted. not necessarily before it, when one partner expects the other to feel spontaneous desire on command, and that is simply not how their body works. Both people end up feeling broken for no reason at all. One feels constantly rejected, the other feels neither one is actually the problem. The misunderstanding is. So what actually rebuilds a sex life that is gone quiet? It is almost never a single grand gesture. It is a handful of specific things done consistently that most couples skip entirely because they feel too unglamorous to bother with. The first is closing the emotional gaps before expecting the physical ones to close. You cannot logistics your way past unresolved resentment. If there is something sitting unspoken between you, that is the actual place to start, even though it is the conversation everyone wants to avoid. The second is rebuilding non-sexual touch as its own category, completely separate from sex itself. A hand on the back while passing in the kitchen. A real hug that lasts longer than 3 seconds. Touch that doesn't have an agenda attached to it. Teaches both nervous systems that closeness is safe again, without any pressure for it to lead somewhere. Couples who've gone quiet in the bedroom have almost always gone quiet in this category first, usually without noticing. The third is talking about desire directly, outside the bedroom, when nobody feels rejected or put on the spot. Not "why don't we have sex anymore?" which sounds like an accusation, something closer to "I want us to feel close like this again, and I want to understand what would actually help you feel that too." That single shift in how the conversation gets opened changes almost everything about how safe it feels for the other person to be honest back. Here is the truth I want you to actually walk away with, because it changes how you think about this for the rest of your life, not just in this relationship. Good sex was never really about performance, and it was never really about frequency either. It is a barometer, an honest physical readout of how safe, how seen, and how chosen two people actually feel with each other underneath everything else going on in their lives. When that barometer drops, the instinct is almost always to fix the bedroom directly. But the real fix is almost always somewhere else, in the conversation you've been avoiding, in the resentment you haven't named, in the closeness you stopped building outside of it. If this gave you a different way to think about your own relationship, tell me below. Do you think your connection in this area is more about logistics, or about something underneath it that hasn't actually been said out loud yet? I want to know what you are noticing. And if you've ever wondered why desire seems to fade the longer a relationship goes on, even when the love itself is still real, that is exactly what the next video is about. So make sure you are subscribed before it goes up.